It's time for Enter the Pandora jungle with the package from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Wicked Gamer and Collector. So in today's video it's time again for entering the Pandora box jungle. And for the people new to the channel, welcome and consider subscribing because it helps big time. Because on this channel we discuss a lot of awesome stuff and including a lot of Pandora boxes. Because it's in jungle we have a lot of different versions. And in this video we are going to discuss what is up with this Pandora Saga 90 and what are we going to get. Alright, let's talk about the cables itself, what comes with the cables. Depends a little bit what version and how it looks and where you buy it. But at the end you're always getting the same stuff. For example, we have the VGA cable if you want to use it on an old television. We have USB because we can hook this thing up to a game system like the PS3. No, not the new generation consoles. HDMI. And we are having the power brick or power supply. As you can see here at the bottom, we having a fully metal backplate, or better said, casing. That is pretty cool. It gives you a lot of weight and it gives a little bit of a cooling for the main board. You can see that all of these sticks have a very thick acrylic plate, and on top there is a sticker. There are quite some different versions out there, but what they're basically doing is getting the same casing, the same acrylic plate, only slapping another sticker on it. So if you talk about the buttons and the quality, it's very simple. If you buy one of these, let's say, casual sticks, you're going to get the Chinese Senwa clones. I must say, they're not bad. They're not the Wicked Wiggle sticks that I've seen before. The buttons, the same story, more like a clone for Sama or something, but they are not bad and they will give you a pretty decent, let's say, gaming experience. We're having the start for player 1 and the coin over here. So let's go to the player 2. So player 2 is more like of the same story, only difference is we're having here the pause button. Because if you press the pause button in game, you're going to get this little menu where you can go back to the main menu. But keep in mind, this thing doesn't have a quick load and quick save like some of these Pandora boxes. If you take a close look at the back here, there can be a little bit of a difference. For example, on other button, minor difference, but the most important thing is the way how they assemble the mainboard. Some have this big gigantic gap with a little plate. So the basic, what I really like about these basic ones is that you can basically upgrade it to every single mainboard you can find. Now you're limited to the positions of the connectors. We're having here the DC input, HDMI, VGA out, audio out. We're having volume control. We're having settings for going into the menu. And here we have two USB connections. And it seems to be we can use some extra controllers with this device. Pandora Saga 90. The saga continues. Alright, so let's talk about the main menu with the Pandora Saga 90. So the first thing, for the people not really familiar with the Pandora box, this is the main menu. There are different versions. This is more like a copy of the Pandora box number 5 from the official store, by the way. And I can see it already because if you look at the color scheme or the background, the way how they made the menu, the only thing that changed out is the Pandora Saga 90. This thing comes pre-installed with more games, in total of 2,700 games. There are constant differences with the Pandora Box 5 and 6 and all the other versions. So the first thing that I'm noticing is that they put all the three-dimensional games at the end of the list. There are a couple of them, not a lot. Even make some extra categories like if you want to play with 4 players, because yes, that is possible with this main board. And even the 3 players. So that's pretty cool that they did this, but what you already can see, there are so many hacked versions, or let's say versions that are just sometimes improved. Nevertheless, a lot of double games. So let's start with the beginning of the list. And I just want to give you a quick scroll. What you can see already is that, strange enough, there are a lot of double games. And it's one big messy list. So if you're pressing start on the player 2, nothing happens if you compare it with the Pandora Box 9, or sorry, Pandora Box 6, because Pandora Box 6 has the search option and categorize system. Nevertheless, what they did is just basically grab a Pandora Box 5, slapped a lot of games on it, and only double games. It's just one big freaking nightmare. So the Pandora Saga, the nightmare continues with the horrible list. So this is not the best collection if it comes to how they sorted the games and everything. Look at this, people. Look at this. How many King of Fighters 97 on this? The guy, Practice Mode, Hero, Miracle Day. Who came up with these names? So, this is what you're going to get with the Pandora Saga 90. So we're going to do some testing and just to see how the games are even running, because I am a little bit afraid. And fun fact, with these weird Pandora boxes we can see that sometimes we're having some lost Sega and Super NES games. At the end, this is what we're going to get. Alright, so we are starting off with ta-da-da-da! Mortal Kombat. I'm just going to say. And indeed, it runs like shit. Surprise, surprise. Seriously? They really messed up. Blood Warrior. Why are they all standing like that? Why does this guy look like a freaking turtle? What the hell is this? I did notice some screen tearing. Oh my. Time for the PlayStation 1. Let's see. Let's see how is it running. Loading times are very fast. Oh. I needed to switch my buttons. Yeah, of course. Oh! Indeed, like Hayachi says. Ooh! This game was called Dino Rex. Oh wait, I played this game before. Screen tearing! Screen tearing! I think we don't need your code, you unlock. No, it seems to be there's a special version.
Carry. Round 1.
Alright, so let's try a 60-bit game. Street Race 1, Mega Drive. Let's see how it's running. The question is, what's my super button? I know for a fact I'm going to press the wrong button again, like always. Because everything is not mapped right, the original. Oh no. Alright. Is this a jump button? Oh yeah, oh finally, then it used the super weapon. See, what I don't get, that they're giving us a couple of these Mega Drive games, why not fill it up? Or give us the option to add them yourself, but no. Screen tearing! A shitload of them. Oh, I got sandwiched! But if you look at the Super NES game, they're doing pretty fine. And yeah, we're having the widescreen now. Big Apple, 3 AM. It's time for some Bonanza Bros. I don't know if you ever played this game. It's also ported to the Mega Drive. It's a really funny game. Fun to play together. No, 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 no! Ah! Time for some cabal. We need to get to the chopper. Handgranasse. This is a grenade for in German language. Hurry, we need to get to the chopper. What the hell is that sound? Oh my god, there got tanks. The soundtracks or the sound effects are not normal. That sound effect is not normal. Let's put it this way. Okay, so let's take a close look and a quick look into the settings menu. You're pressing the little button on the back of the mainboard. Then you will go into this menu. You can change some things. For example, EO testing is for checking the buttons if everything works. Or you have a problem with the button, you can check if the button is wrong or there's something wrong. Nevertheless, you can check it. But the most important thing is the system settings. You can shut down the optimization. It's more like this pixel filtering thing. I don't like it at all, but it's more like a personal thing. And again, no people, you can't change the aspect ratio. You're having this widescreen and you're stuck with it. This is interesting because you can hook up 2 extra controllers. I need to make a separate review about it because this is a video that needs a very extended explanation how this works, because no, you cannot connect, let's say, your Xbox 360 controller to this thing. They think, hey, let's grab my PlayStation 4. No, that doesn't work like this. No. So, alright, so this is what you're going to get with the settings. You can adjust some little things like game settings, for example, where you can change the difficulty and all the other things. So that's it. Nothing much and not really interesting, to be honest. So when opening up, it's very simple. You just need to remove 3 screws. It's just freaking awesome if you want to swap out or you need to replace the mainboard. We're having here the bigger speaker. This is the 5 watt. Sometimes you're using the 3 watt. The 3 or 5 watt are just fine. They're just pretty loud. As you can see, this is the new generation mainboard. And for the people who didn't know, you can see it on the little fan. And we're going to see if this thing is very quiet. Here we have the connector that goes to the cabling. And here we have this little cable, which you can see here, that goes to the RGB light. So if you don't like the RGB, you can always pull it out, no biggie. Here we have the on and off switch that goes into the mainboard for powering on and off. So you can see over here that we're having an SD card, but there is a little bit of a catch. You can't add games. If you put it in your PC, nothing happens, and it will ask to format the card. If you do so, you basically ruined your Pandora box because all the main files are on here. Come with very nice cabling, and if you get what you can see already, if you want to swap to different octogate or you just want to replace the full controller kit, it's very easy. It's basically plug and play. You can just squeeze the little things over here, you can pop it out, and you can, with removing 4 screws, you can remove the joystick. I needed to let you hear this. I think you cannot even hear it anymore. Man, this fan is very silent. That was a big problem of the previous model, that they sound like a freaking vacuum cleaner. Alright, so we're going to take a close look at the mainboard itself because there's quite some new things going on with this. So first of all, they are using the brand new little cooling element with this tiny new fan. I must say they are not very loud nowadays, so I'm very pleased with it. Just basic aluminum, or it's not copper, so it will give you good cooling, but at the end, of course, the induction is the most important thing. We're going to remove the little cooler. But I'm very curious what kind of chipset they are using on the Pandora 90. Are they still using this old crappy versions, or is this just a new generation of mainboard? So that's something we need to figure out. And always the less freaking pin doesn't come out. Okay, thank you. Oh my god, they're not even using a cooling pad, they're using this. Yeah, there's a cooling pad, but I personally prefer something else like the real cooling paste. Alright, so let's zoom a little bit in. And sadly, my friends, they are using, I hope you can see it over here, the H3 winner. So this is quite an old, very old chipset. And here we can see that it has only one RAM chip. So I'm guessing they are just let's see, what's the code number of this thing? I'm guessing they are using 1 gigs of RAM. So in general, if you need to compare this, you need to compare this with, let's say, the old key, Pandora key version quite some time ago. So sadly, if it comes to the performance, it will explain basically everything, because it's just an all-winner H3 and that is pretty old. Alright, so the Pandora Box 9D, or sorry, I'm saying it wrong, the Pandora Saga 9D. The reason why I'm saying this wrong is they're almost identical. If you look at the menu, if you look at the game amount, the 9D has some more games, but it's the same shitty list with... I really like the 3-player and 4-player thing that they're doing, but they can make a totally different system. There's no first function, there's no quick load, quick save. Mortal Kombat runs like crap simply because it's a low-powered, cheap mainboard. That explains why this thing was a little bit cheaper than all the latest versions. Yeah, Mortal Kombat doesn't run very well, and there will be some more games if you dig into the list. It's one big gigantic mess of a list. I don't like it, to be honest. The casing is good like always, but the mainboard, yeah, it's pretty shitty, to be honest. Not the best one. But I thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family. It will be awesome to have you here. And that means I will see you in my next video.